Houston from Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, Concrete Blonde, TSOL and Bad Brains, among others. And there's a bit of a controversy.
It has become Chico's rite of spring, a celebration of the community's past and its present, so as 75,000 people line the streets of downtown Chico to watch what is the centerpiece event, the Rancho Chico Parade. They can think back to the way things used to be, how things came about, how John and Annie Bidwell first came to this valley in the mid-1900s. The mansion that now stands in the heart of Chico was built in 1868, a status symbol to the grid of the Bidwells. But as their lives passed, the legacy remained. Chico grew into a thriving community. Now the little Rancho Chico is growing into the 21st century. Rancho Chico Days was once Pioneer Days, once just a student event at Chico State University. But thanks to civic leader Mary Andrews, the event has become a full-blown community effort.
Not only do we have a lot of students this year involved, as everyone can see, but we have a lot of community people involved, because the community people are the ones who are actually putting it all together and holding it together from year to year, so we have that continuity.
I think it really enhances the camaraderie of the community. It's also an economic boon. Lots of money comes into the community, and it's just an overall positive.
The emphasis is now on business and total community effort, reflected in the diverse contribution to the parade, about to start its third rendition. But Chico State students still leave a strong mark, building structures called quads that explain something about the history of Chico. These buildings look as if they took weeks to build, but instead these youthful workaholics worked day and night to build them in just 2 days. The very grounds they built them on, Chico's Children's Park, was a starting ground for the Bidwell legacy.
In 1914, Mrs. Bidwell gave all of this particular area right in here to the city of Chico. The city, of course, has been the owner of it during all of those years.
For those behind the event, they say something can be learned about where they live and how it all came to be.
We're celebrating our history of this area and the people who contributed to our history. And we feel that it's real important for the youngsters growing up and the new people into this community to know why we are who we are and to enjoy our history and the people who made it the way it is.
So while you watch the parade and enjoy the atmosphere, remember, it took many generations to get here, to reach this point at which a young, thriving community now stands. The mansion, the 2,400-acre park, the new arch just dedicated in honor of John Bidwell's architectural design. It all serves as a reference point to appreciate the efforts of those who made Chico what it is today. For Rancho Chico Days, I'm Craig Sklar.
He's passing in front of the reviewing stand right now, too. You may hear the reviewing stand in the background because they're booming out with a PA announcement there. So if we get drowned out every once in a while, that's probably why. Oh, those are Sheriff and Nell of Rancho Chico Days. They are the Chico State entry, I believe, this year. That's Kate Braz, and she is from the Sigma Kappa sorority on campus. And the sheriff is Bob Eastwood, and he's from Tau Gamma Theta fraternity. And this is the history of selecting the sheriff and Nell from among Chico's college students goes way back to 1925 when two Chico normal school students organized the Chico Whiskerino Club. And I'm at a loss as what that is, but the history is long, and the sheriff was the protector of the then Little Nell. And Sheriff and Nell are selected by a panel of judges and by several presentations. And there they go by with this quite loud cap gun.
And
nice car.
Traditionally, Bruce, what will happen next is that the prospective sororities and fraternities of the Sheriff and Little Nell will follow. And of course, we'll be seeing the Sigma Kappa sorority float soon, along with the fraternity. The winner, Bob Eastwood of the Tau Gamma Theta fraternity. His fraternity will soon be joining us with their floats.
Now, this is the American Red Cross entry. No, it's actually the entry of the Sigma Kappa sorority.
That's right.
But they are presenting their entry in the theme of pictures of the past from 1840 to 1940, and they're going to portray Clara Barton and the American Red Cross. Those of you that know a little bit about history remember her as the so-called angel of the battlefield, and she founded the Red Cross in America more than 100.
The Tau Gamma Theta fraternity, the sheriff's fraternity. This 85-foot-long self-propelled float is a scale model of General John Bidwell's steamboat. The banner. Bob Eastwood, Tau Gamma Theta sheriff candidate, is portraying Captain Samuel Pierce, the banner's first navigator. Tau Gamma Theta, sponsored by PG&E, is striving to win their third consecutive sweepstakes award. And as we mentioned earlier, about 10 float awards, and all of them, I'm sure, are going to be spectacular this year.
Yes.
A lot of work goes into putting the floats together, and I'm sure they spent many nights awake this week trying to get prepared for this year's event.
Well, they got somebody who's laying down on the cot there, which we'll probably get it. Yeah, you can see that right there. So she's got a pretty good job today. She's laying down in the shade as it goes along Main Street here. And once again, their theme is the American Red Cross. The big red cross on the back of that float, which is on some sort of a revolving. There you see people helping people. And Tau Gamma Theta has a pretty long entry here. Once again, sponsored by PG&E.
We mentioned a little earlier about Tau Gamma Theta. They are actually coming up. What we were seeing there, Bruce, as you mentioned, was Sigma Kappa, and Tau Gamma Theta is getting ready to approach us. And what we see now, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, Tau Gamma Theta is now approaching us. The distance between where Bruce and I are sitting on the top of 5th Street on the Chamber of Commerce building is a little different than where the parade route's running. So what you're actually seeing now is the Tau Gamma Theta. Is that entry that we talked about earlier with Bob Eastwood of the Tau Gamma Theta sheriff candidate, portraying it once again Captain Samuel Pierce, the banner's first navigator. And this event is sponsored by PG&E. And that is an incredible looking steamboat.
That's a great float.
That is incredible.
The band behind, of course, is playing Proud Mary by Creedence Clearwater Revival, which is only fitting on a paddle wheel steamer. they go by the parade stand there. These are the sailors here, as you probably have seen and will see again, with the banner.
And
doing their maneuvers.
As we can see from here, the crowd is just really enjoying this, and it's really neat to see the fraternities participate as well as the sororities and the marching bands. All of the fraternities and sororities have prepared skits and routines ahead of time, so it's kind of fun to see the outcome of that.
Passing in front of us very shortly here, and we'll pick up a picture of this, is the Rancho Chico Days Board of Directors, and there they are right there. They're seen here with Fred Meyer's, which is one of the parade sponsors. Fred Meyer, the big store, will be opening on May 16th here in Chico, and boasts of providing easy one-stop shopping for all the customers with 29 stores under one roof. Fred Meyer started about 67 years ago with the founder, Fred Meyer, offering only one store, but now he's got 115 stores.